Hello?
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 What do I owe this pleasure? What's going on?
How you doing?
What is it? No, that was a sus laugh. What's going on?
What do you mean? I'm not laughing. I'm not so laughing.
What was that?
I happened to be sent a clip of you explaining something to Zen that was pretty interesting.
I don't know what it is, but there's stuff. I don't know where. What did you see?
You had to explain to Zen what NTR was.
I didn't realize that nobody would do. I was put on the spot. I don't know what it. I still don't know. I don't know what it is.
I can explain it to you.
Yes.
Once I tell you this story, you can tell everybody this story.
Okay. I'm taking my notes. I'm ready.
Imagine this. You have a bike, right?
Okay.
And you have a bicycle that you love a lot. And you want to ride your bicycle all the time. And you used to ride your bicycle a lot before, but you got kind of busy. You know, you got a job.
Okay.
And you can't ride your bicycle as much as you want to, you know?
Okay.
So you go to work one day and you're like, I'm just going to leave my bike here and I'm going to take my car and I'm going to leave my bike here. And then all of a sudden your neighbor comes and says, who left this bike out here? It's my neighbor's bike. I'm going to ride my neighbor's bike while my neighbor's not home because it's my neighbor's bike and I want to have fun on my neighbor's bike.
Okay, so he's borrowing it.
So the neighbor is borrowing the bike.
Okay.
And riding the bike. But you don't know that your neighbor's borrowing your bike. But you get home early because you were like, you know what? I'm going to clock out early today and I'm going to come home and I'm going to ride my bike. But when you get there, your bike isn't there. But you look over and you see your neighbor's riding your bike.
But
So instead of confronting your neighbor and your bike, you go and you hide behind a corner and you start watching your neighbor ride your bike as you cry.
oh my god.
And watch them ride the bike.
And then it becomes a tricycle.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh man. That's a good way to explain it. That's like a wholesome, well, not whole, well, that's not wholesome. That's that makes sense. That's all I got.
Yeah, you're just there watching him ride the bike while you're crying. And you're just watching him. Imagining yourself riding the bike and wishing you were riding the bike, but your neighbor's riding the bike. And a single tear goes down your face.
In the bushes.
Yeah, and you're in the bushes and you're doing the motions like you're riding the bike, but you're not really riding the bike.
So what motions are you? Like ringing the bell?
Yeah, like ringing the bell.
What happens if the neighborhood is like, yo, it's a really nice bike? Can we join it too?
Well, you know what? Sometimes other neighbors might see how much fun the other neighbor's having, and while the other neighbor's gone and you're gone, the other neighbor might come and get the bike.
And you still just sit in the bushes.
Yeah, and then a group of neighbors might take turns on the bike, and you might sit in the bushes watching people take turns on the bike.
This is how I'm going to explain it if anybody asks me ever again.
Yeah, and then they come and they bring the bike back to you, but you pretend like you didn't know that they were bringing it back to you, and then you come out and you're like, oh, wow, my bike is back. I wonder who put it here. And then you're like, let me ride you for old time's sakes, bike.
Well, it was already rode on.
Yeah, but everybody already rode on the bike, and you tell the bike how much you care about the bike, and the bike was like, yep.
That's what the bike says? Yup.
Yeah, it goes.
So then you gotta get WD-40 to fix the bike.
Yeah, I hope you also clean the bike too. Now you know.
Now, that's actually a really good explanation. Like, it makes sense. Why didn't I just say you're smart? Like I should have, because I like that's a good way to explain it.
Now you can tell all your friends.
I think I'm good. Well, I'm not gonna tell.
They ask you how you are.
I'm gonna
get into it because they would never understand.
I'm gonna tell all my friends. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you want me to explain NTR to you?
Yeah, you don't even have to tell them I told you this. You can say that you came up with it on your own.
And what happens
Don't tell anybody I told you.
What happens if I tell them they're like, dude, I feel like I've lived that. I've been in the bush before. Then what do I go about that?
And be like, wow, so you know already.
You
You've experienced it.
Tell me some stories. Actually, I don't want to know. I don't want to. I won't. I don't think we'll get that far.
Well, you know, sometimes, you know, you might come home early and you might see the other person riding the bike, and you're like, you know what? Why don't I join in on riding the bike?
So you leave the bush?
And you leave the bush, and then you join in, and then you take the bike home, and you're like, you know what? While my neighbor's riding my bike, I'm gonna ride my neighbor's bike.
While they're doing it, so it's like pegs on the bike. Because you're joining it too. Not pegging. That's no, not that. I mean, like pegs. Not that peg. You know what I'm talking about? Pegs on the bike. Please tell me you know. Have you ever heard of that? So pegs on a bike. Pegs on a bike. They're in the back of the. They're two. Oh God, this sounds so bad. They're two. Like cylinders on the back of a bike, and
A bike has cylinders?
oh no, oh God, this sounds so bad. They go in the back. Oh my God, the hand motions too. No, they go in the back of the wheel. All right, like they're attached out there, and you could stand on it and grab onto your friend's back. So from behind that. And they ride, yeah. So they ride. So there's on some of the bikes they have pegs.
Oh, well, I'm talking about you see, your neighbor rides your bike, but then you find your neighbor's bike, and then you're riding your neighbor's bike.
Oh, so you're just riding them side by side. So you're right. So you're swapping wives. Swapping bikes. Swapping bikes.
Yeah.
And then you ride side by
bike
side.
Swap.
And you race to who's gonna finish first.
Yeah, you can race if you want to.
So, who could bike the longest?
That's true. Or who could bike the longest.
Yeah. Or who, and what, but then you have to worry about, like, if someone's using some, like, different tires to last longer.
Yeah, or whose bike is more satisfied being ridden.
Or, and yeah, which one, is better on the bumps. and a variety of things. Which one could go off-road? This is a great analogy. This is really good.
Now you know.
You have taught me so much over the years. You know that?
I'm so glad. I'm glad that I've taught you so much.
Literally, a lot of the stuff I know is because of you.
What? Wait, what?
What is bad about that? What are you saying? I know good stuff. I'm smart.
What kind of stuff are we talking about?
I watched Bible Black because of you.